What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video, another day, another dollar. And here recently, I've just been losing dollars left and right. We're going to break down our 30-minute time frame, update you guys on destinations. We'll mark them. Then we'll look at our larger time frame on our daily and our weekly, just kind of reiterate where we're at on that. And as you know, things have changed on the daily. We are now back to balance once again, back to balance on the daily time frame. We're going to be using basically a 4-day balance, using the last 4 days of trading. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to be using the 12th high as our balance high, and then yesterday's low as our balance low. And in yesterday's video, we talked a little bit about how what didn't happen is just as important as what didn't happen. And yesterday, what didn't happen is, we failed to find any acceptance in that lower distribution from that trend day up back on the 8th, right? Right in that range that I'm highlighting currently was the lower distribution from that day. And we failed to find absolutely any acceptance within that range, as we rejected out of it pretty aggressively and then closed up near our highs. And then today, guess what? We opened up with a gap, pushed up higher, consolidated a little while, finally got that 9Y point of control. Looked like things were very good for the buyers early on in the day. Right, look, we were holding the gap pretty good above the previous day's high. Was looking to be an island reversal gap. So for those of you that don't know what that is, that's when we gap lower, and then the next day we gap back above, creating another gap, leaving this whole area as kind of like its own little island, right? There was no price action between each area. Well, we decided late towards the later portion of the day, not necessarily later portion, but right before noon, we decided to have a liquidation break, which pushed this market down pretty aggressively, filled the downside gap. We're dipping our toe, even attempting to go trend down. So not only have we been viciously getting both sides of the initial balance, which is a very unusual thing to see. Like all of last year, we got the both sides of the balance, the initial balance, like some 28% of the time. So not very often did we get both sides of the initial balance. And so far, these first few trading days, we've been getting both sides of the initial balance rather frequently, especially the last several days, the last 3 to be more specific. We've gotten both sides of the initial balance. And today we did just that. We got the initial balance high, rotated in, got the initial balance low, attempted to go trend down, didn't find any acceptance back in the previous day's range, and then we V-shaped recovery all the way to the highs. It's just, how do you trade a market like this is my question. People that do make money, obviously scalpers doing well, but those that are looking for a trend and trying to ride the trend, it hasn't been there, and that's I feel like that's where I fall. I trade the best is when the market is in a trending fashion, not when it's doing this choppy mess. It was a very difficult thing to read. I got hurt early on in the day as I was long up here near the top because I was like, you know what? They look like, and at the time we were creating a 4Y point of control right here at 89.50. All right, and at the time in this time frame right here, this time frame, it hadn't pulled back yet. All right, we hadn't pulled back to that point of control to get 5 wide. So typically when you're in a market that's wanting to push higher or lower and you're creating points of control, you typically look for nuances like, do we get back to that point of control? And if we don't, then a lot of times we are either going to raise it at some point or lower it, whichever way the market's trying to push. But in this case, it looked like we were going to be trying to raise it and then attempt our hand at the 4,800 level and the afternoon rally high. So I felt comfortable getting long. I was wrong, clearly, and I got absolutely demolished when we pulled back here, as I was just too big in size, adding to my position, and yeah, just did not result well for me. Got smoked and lost an account today for the most part. So just trying to be a better trader. It's tough, right? We're trying to get away from our um, gambling, I guess, mentality. Just trying to be more specific, more picky where I get in and out. But it's been a bloodbath for me these last several days, and a terrible start to the year to say the least. So if you're out there struggling and you're a new trader, you're not the only person struggling in this market, especially if you're trying to learn how to trade the futures. You are not the only person struggling. I guarantee there are professional traders out there that are having a difficult time in this market right now, and even algorithms, I'm sure, are out there having a field day whenever they can rake up money on these momentum moves to the upside. But definitely we're getting hurt whenever we had that pullback, because I guarantee you nobody was looking for this to do exactly what it did. After 11 o'clock, which is basically try to go trend down into the previous day's range, not with higher value and everything. So that's my 2 cents on it. Very difficult day. We ended up obviously taking out these highs, putting ourselves back into a balance and getting up to that 48.15. And it's just, Jesus, it just drives me up a wall knowing that had we not liquidated and moved lower like we did in these 3 time frames, right? Knowing that we did, like, I'm not to draw trend lines or anything, but I'm gonna draw a fucking trend line. But look at this. It's basically the same fucking path that we were on. It just drives me up a wall knowing that the trade idea I had was correct in the sense that the market wanted to push up to those levels that I was looking for, but we get a liquidation break like this, where I just get absolutely demolished. And other traders like myself thinking that, we're going to hold the day's low, because, knowing that taking out both sides of the initial balance isn't, very likely, but, clearly proven wrong here, only to get a V-shaped recovery late in the day and do exactly what I wanted the fucking market to do in the first place, right? It's just, it's very, very, very frustrating to see. And it makes me wonder, am I in this? Am I actually in this market, or am I just being toyed with? It's tough. It's tough. So let's mark these. Enough about my bitching. Let's just mark these destinations. There's no afternoon pullback low, no afternoon rally high. We're going to say that this right here, we will say that 96, we're going to use 96 as a price spike because the market spiked up from there and then just continued to push up higher. So we'll use 96 as a price spike. Technically, I guess you could say that 48.10 is our price probe. But I want to see that the market opens above essentially 96.25 tomorrow. If we open above 96.25, I think that'll be very positive for the buyers, and we should rotate up and test what will be our new daily balance high. So let's mark these destinations real quick. You can't tell, I'm just aggravated. I think I'm more mad at myself than at the market. But even with that in consideration, it's just hard to fucking know, man. It's just hard to know. I did get called a gambler in the market, or in our trading room today. I got called a gambler. And it took it to heart a little bit because in a sense, I guess I was gambling, but just with the market generated information I had at the time, it just didn't seem like, I guess I could have waited for a better price to get long. But either way, from the looks of it, I would have been stopped out, and I still probably would have done the exact same thing I'd done, which is add to the position, and then you get demolished one way or another, just in a lesser sense. So, at times I do tend to have that FOMO, fucking gambler mentality, but it's something we're working towards, something I'm trying to be better about. And this is mostly just me rambling. So if you're still here, thanks. If not, then sorry. Not that entertaining, but it's a tough market, man. I'm having a hard time. having a hard time. 48.17. Trying to figure out if this shit's for me or if, I need to, after I'm on year 4 now. So do I need to give up? Do I need to keep going? Are things changing for me? It's hard to know. Hard to tell. Especially when there's no physical or monetary value that I'm seeing, right? The only thing I can see is that I can read a market better. I can label shit, I can see what the market did. I can read it. I can see it kind of real time, what's happening. But the execution and just being a better trader is just, it's, not seeing any profitability. It's kind of tough. Not getting any actual money out of the market it's tough. So if you're somebody out there that's struggling, you're not alone. And welcome to the Strugglers podcast. Fucking A. So here we have it. All right, let's go over destinations. Like I said, not the most entertaining fucking video of your life, but if you're still here, fucking thank you. So you can call it a 3-day balance. You can call it a 4-day balance. Whatever you want. Market is in a balance. We are back into trading within a channel between 48.36.50. Fuck it. We might as well just make it the whole balance. You know what? Yeah, let's fucking do that. We're gonna do that. We're gonna use, because we don't know which way this market wants to go right now. We're clearly trading in a channel, so I'm going to make this a much larger balance. We're going to use the 8th low, and we're going to use our all-time high at 48.39.75 as our balance. As our daily balance high. Okay, so we are in this balance. So if I get rid of this right here, and I mark this area here, right, from people that like to look at support and resistance, this is what we're looking at here, essentially. This is, I guess, 38, but right in there, that we're trading in this channel. Okay, so this being your resistance level, right, we go here, boom, 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 right, that's going to be your resistance level. And then right here is going to be your support level, right? You want to see buyers step in right and around in this area. So trading within this channel, okay? Now there are destinations, obviously, to the upside that we need to hit in order for us to accomplish the ultimate goal for the buyers, which is to break out of this balance on both the weekly and the daily time frame. We'll look at those here in just a second. But that is our balance. So let's go back to our destination. So buyers won't open above 96.25 in my opinion tomorrow. If we open above 96.25 tomorrow, we'll have a really, really good chance of taking out the day's high at 48.17. We get above 48.17. You have the afternoon rally high at 48.23.75. Next stop 36.50 and then 39.75. All-time high, weekly balance high, daily balance high. Okay, and downside. Obviously, 96.25, if we open above it, we can't take out 48.17, or if we do, and we can't take out 48.23, we rotate back in, then you'll look to trade below 96. You get below 96. What was this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So not a significant point of control here, but you get below 96, essentially, there's nothing stopping you from going down to 47.70. Then you have the 9Y point of control down here at 47.62.75. And then you have the low day, 47.46.25. And then our balance low on the daily, 47.38. If you even want to stretch it down to 47.19, be my fucking guest, because clearly this market can do anything and everything. Right? If it can happen, it will happen. So there's your destinations. Let's look at our larger time frame. Let's look at the weekly. All right, here's our weekly balance. Okay. We are in a nice 4-week balance. All right. So far, we've tested our balance high, rotated lower, got near our balance low, and now we're coming back near the highs. So are we going to continue to consolidate? And it's not a bad thing that we're consolidating here. The bad thing is for day traders like me, it's a very difficult market to read. You have a lot of choppy sideways action. It's not the best risk reward. Terrible time to be a trader. So I might myself start just, whenever we're in a market like this, when we're in a balance, I'm just not going to trade it. So when we come out of balance, either to the upside or to the downside, mostly hoping, with the generator information we have, monthly still one time framing up. Weekly should take out 48, 39, 75. And if we do, we should get some pretty good legs to the upside, as there is absolutely nothing holding us back at that point. Now let's look at our daily within that balance range, okay? So like I said, you can call this a, you can call this a multi-day balance, 8-day, or you can just use the entire weekly balance range. And there's nothing wrong with that. Clearly, we're having absolutely no problem trading from one side to the other. But this is what we look like within that weekly balance. So you can see a whole lot of just choppy mess in this range. And I would not be surprised if, I don't know how, I'll have to figure it out, but I would not be surprised to see us have a cumulative volume VPOC right around here at the 4780 level, okay? So I would not be surprised to see that. Once again, back above the 20. Once again, one day doesn't make a market. But 50 continues to creep up, now at 46.68. Looking, positive for the buyers. Looking very positive for the buyers. However, we are still in a balance. Now, let's update what our balance is going to look like. I'm just going to move this back down here to, what was yesterday's low, 46.25. And we'll do that, 46.25. And there's our balance low. And like I said, you can extend it down to 1950. Doesn't matter. We are in a balance, just chopping around. So right now, looking to rotate higher, take out that balance high, take out the all-time high, 39.75. Yeah. With that being said, hopefully you're trading better than me. I'll catch you guys in the next one. See you.